Okay, hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm making a kind of different style video today. It's going to be more of like a personal experience talking thing, which I haven't done on this channel before, surprisingly. Although I have done it on other YouTube channels in the past. Anyway, like the title suggests, I'm talking about sunburn and why you should actually absolutely put sunscreen on. Seriously, like, really. So, I'm a ginger, a very pale skinned ginger. Honestly, this Minecraft skin is pretty close to how I look in real life. And usually I have a webcam on, but I don't have a shirt on because the sunburn is that bad. At least it's gotten a little bit better, but it was really bad, and especially yesterday. So basically what happened was is I was out at the pool for like 3+ hours laying on like see-through clear pool floaties, like the little donut ones. And I was just laying out there for like 3 hours. And, I felt a little bit of burning, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go inside. And I was fine for like the rest of the day. And then next day I wake up, I'm like, oh wow, that's sore. And I get over to my cousin's house to pick my cousin up for work. I work for a cleaning company, so it's kind of like a family business. So me and my cousin go work together. And I get there and I'm like, wow, I'm very, very, very itchy. Like, I could not sit still for the life of me. I was like twitching all over the place. I'm like, what is this? It's like just started. And I'm like, okay, can I get some like lotion or something, please? So I get some lotion and like coconut oil and like aloe and like I put on like three different things, right? And I have the aloe on after I put that on, and it just gets like 5 times worse. I'm like, why is this worse? So then we put the coconut oil on. I'm like, okay, that's a little bit better, but it was still pretty bad. And then for most of the rest of the day, I was fine. And then nighttime came, and well, I got something called Hell's Itch. And if you don't know what Hell's Itch is, it is the most painful thing like, without getting an arm cut off, it's like the most painful, agonizing thing I've ever felt in my life. And, like, that says a lot, because, like, like, every kid is, like, done a bunch of stuff to themselves to hurt themselves. People do it all the time. But this is the worst thing ever. Like, it literally felt like I was getting stabbed by a bunch of almost bees, or like there was like fire ants crawling inside of my skin. And like itching wouldn't help. I couldn't I couldn't itch the sunburn away. That didn't help. I put on more aloe from my aloe plant. That didn't help. I put on more lotion, and actually putting on the aloe and the lotion made it worse. And I couldn't figure out why it was getting worse. So I was like doing a bunch of googling, and apparently putting on lotion or aloe or any other sort of like goop, they said, makes it worse. So I did that, and it was like the worst experience I've ever had in my life. I can't even describe how miserably painful it was. I was up until 12 o'clock at night just trying to make it stop. It was literally so bad. Like the burning, itching, stinging sensation was so bad that I was literally actually crying. And like I'm usually like a pretty, I guess you could say, tough cookie. Like I don't really cry unless like something's really bad. But that got me. That was like that was probably the most miserable. Why is my game lagging? It was the most miserable experience I've ever had in my entire life. Now you may be thinking like, why am I making this video just talking about like how painful my sunburn is? Like, that's just like stupid. Well, I'm making this video so if you don't put on sunscreen, like if you're one of those people who just doesn't put on sunscreen like me, so you might like start putting it on. Like that's why I'm making this video. It's like it's horrible. It's like literally the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. Like, actually awful. And I'm really kind of stubborn like that, those kind of things. Like, I'm a big, like, I like to contradict people. Like, my grandma always says, put on sunscreen or you're gonna get skin cancer. Or, oh, don't pick up things off the floor, you get MRSA. And I'm like, you're being dramatic, you're being dramatic. I would have rather had skin cancer than whatever this was. It was literally the most painful thing I've ever experienced. The only thing that got it to stop a bit was rubbing it. But then, like, that made it worse after you stopped. And then I got in, like, a cold shower. That hardly helped. And what else did I do? I guess ran around the house and just screamed. In agonizing pain, just begging for it to stop. Like, it sounds really cringe, and, like, people probably won't, like, if you haven't had it, you probably won't even understand. Like, because my dad was actually talking about it, like, 2 days before. He's like, if you get that Hell's Itch, you know, it'll be, like, the worst thing you ever experienced. And then you're going to want to go tanning and start wearing sunscreen so you don't get burned as easily. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, I've had a little bit of itchy sunburn before. I can deal with it. No. It's just, no. I could not deal with it. It was the most painful thing I've ever experienced. And actually, sitting here right now, it still itches a bit, but it's gotten to the point where it's just, like, little zaps. Almost like I'm getting, like, you know, like when you get clothes out of the dryer, it shocks you. That's what's happening right now. It's just shocking me. It's all around my shoulders and, like, my upper back and my traps and my upper chest, which is really weird because no other part of my body got burned. Literally just, like, my upper shoulder area and a little bit of my neck, which is really weird because, like, there was a much more exposed. Like, my face was burnt a little bit, but it didn't itch. I don't get it. It's kind of weird. But yeah, if you're one of those people who doesn't wear sunscreen or anything, I recommend that you start probably wearing that more. Because if you get this, like, Hell's Itch thing, it'll be, like, the worst thing you ever experience in your life. It was really bad. Another thing I can recommend is going tanning. That builds up, like, your sun tolerance. And if you're, like, a pale ginger like me, just go, like literally, like, 3 or 4 minutes for your first time. Like, literally just 3 or 4 minutes your first time, like, twice a week. At least that's what my dad's been doing. He's gotten Hell's Itch twice. Twice in his life he has gotten that miserable, itchy sunburn. And he said the only thing that really stopped him from getting those awful sunburns was going tanning. But yeah, none of the, like, the goops or anything helped. Goops like lotion, aloe, which I was really surprised they actually made them worse. It's almost like your skin gets so dehydrated that it just, like, destroys the nerve endings. Like, it just fries them. And then it just stings and itches constantly. It apparently only takes around 48 hours to go away, though. And once you get, like, the worst of it, it's, like, kind of over. Like, once the worst part of the itching happens, it's basically over and you don't have to worry about it anymore. Like, being really bad. But I still get, like, these little stings and itches today, so probably tomorrow I'll be back and then maybe able to put a shirt on and then bring the webcam back. Because as much as I'd love to have the webcam on, I don't think that would be great without a shirt. Also, hello. I didn't know these would spawn down here. I heard my friend say that some slimes would spawn down here, but I never got them to spawn. Weird. Yeah, me and my little brother dug out this entire chunk because it was a slime chunk. We wanted the chunk base or whatever. We dug this all the way down to Y20, as you can see. And we figured out no slimes were spawning. We were like, I was like AFKing in different spots for hours. I'm like, where are the slimes? And I thought it was like a dud, so I just built these, the sugarcane farm and then these 2 bamboo farms right here. Which are decently lucrative. The bamboo farms is where it's at, though. Look at this. Boom. Full chest. These hoppers. Jeez, I'm getting leg spikes every time I open a container. I don't think that's supposed to happen. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about the worst thing I've ever felt in my entire life. Just, just warn people this summer to actually wear sunscreen. Because, like, the reason I never really wore it is because it's technically not really good for you to wear. Like, sunscreen has a lot of chemicals in it that's not good for your skin. And in general, it's actually not good to block out the sun's rays, contrary to what people tell you. It's actually not good for you. The way that you're actually supposed to, like, be exposed to the sun, I guess, is getting that red light in the early morning and late evening. And that's what basically gives you the ability to be resistant to the sun in the first place. If you don't do that, then you're gonna get burned. And it makes sense, like, a lot of us have jobs where we just leave, like, kind of early in the morning, but we don't see the sun, and then we're just out in the baking sun in the evening when we get out of work, going to pools and such. And then, this is really loud. And then, you don't get the sun at night, and you go to bed without getting exposed to that. You just keep on repeating that cycle all summer, so you're only getting the super intense rays of sun that burn you instead of the other ones that, like, help you build up exposure and, you know, help you keep it tan. That's why, like, red light therapy is so good, because it gives you that red light that you're not getting from the sun. Anyway, that's gonna conclude it for this video. I just wanted to warn you of the worst experience I've ever had in my life and how you can prevent it. Yeah, that's all. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and leave a comment down below if you have any feedback, and I will see you later. Bye.